G'day. It's Matt here, and hope everybody out there is having a good morning, evening, afternoon. At the moment here it is 10:30 in the morning in Brisbane, Australia, and sorry I haven't done a live stream or posted anything recently. I've been busy actually trying to make money. I'm a freelance animator, and I needed to take the time to do some work, paid work. So yeah, today I'm going to show you how I made this. Let me just play this. This is Gerald, King Kong Gerald, on top of a tall building skyscraper in Brisbane. So here we have Professor Eggtop being tracked into the scene, Gerald being tracked into the scene, bit of a helicopter here, and Gerald jumping off into the water with a big splash, and then a jump scare at the end. So I'm going to have show you how I created this. But first, since the last live stream, which was on the February 8th, it was about 2-3 weeks ago, I just wanted to show you how my YouTube channel is doing and how the shorts are doing. So yeah, this is what I posted back on February 8th. At that time, the subscribers were 39,846. But now, let's go back to the dashboard. I'm at, as of today, 53,040. So thank you very much for subscribing. It's awesome. I can't believe it. And let's have a look at the analytics that's happening real time right now. So within the last 60 minutes, there's been nearly 60,000 people watching the shorts, which is mind-boggling. The most recent short is this one. Let me just bring this up and we'll watch it in the shorts. So if you want to watch shorts on a desktop, just put in shorts before the code of the video, and it will come up in the shorts format. So this is the latest one. Professor Eggtop is driving his car, and in a car park that is quite close to where I live, and then jump scare at the end. Now, since the last two shorts, I have hidden my logo in the video, in the render, and I'm wondering whether you've found them. If you do, just please leave a comment. But I'll show you one. Okay, in this one, in this short, there's a couple. So you've got to find a couple. But if you look on this red pillar here, in the background here, that's my logo with the double M for Matt Mearsbergen. There are other ones in the video as well. So there's a little extra fun thing that you can try and find the logos within my videos. So there's one there. There's a couple others. See if you can find them. Okay, so yeah, 53,000 subscribers as of now. But the monetization, which is what everybody wants to know about, is only, I can't do it yet, unfortunately, because I still need the 4,000 watch hours required. So unfortunately, I'm not making money. But I did get an email from the YouTube Shorts, and I am now part of, or I am receiving the YouTube Shorts fund. They sent me an email, and for the month of January, I got $390. $390 from YouTube, YouTube Shorts Fund, and $390. And in the last 90 days, I've had 63 million views. So the YouTube Shorts Fund, I don't know if you know, you can get money of $100 to $10,000. I got $390. It's okay. I'm fine with that. Any money is okay as long as I can make money from it. But hopefully next month in February, I'll be able to get another email and a bit more money, hopefully. Okay. Hi, everybody in the chat. I'm looking at the chat, so if you have any questions about the YouTube Shorts or anything like that, just type in there and I'll try and answer your questions. Okay, so today we're going to look at how I made Kong GERALD. So first of all, let's have a look at the tracking of the background plate. So I filmed, went to Brisbane River, which is in the city, and I found a good spot, and I filmed on my mobile phone, just a little bit of footage going from the side here on a bank of the river, and then walking in, and then panning over to a large building there. So that large building is part of, I'll just move it, is part of the background plate. Do that. And all these other tracking marks, I won't go into detail because I've done it in other videos, but all these tracking marks track points on the footage so I can put 3D objects within the scene. It tracks the camera movement, so you can see the camera here, and it tracks, you can see all these little points here. The points, the Syntheyes software is picking up points within the footage and looking at the parallax within the footage and puts points in there. So first off, what you do is you make a new project and you select the image sequence or the images or the video that you want to track, bring it into Syntheyes, and then press straight off, just go auto and just press the green button, and it will hopefully, if you're lucky, do a good track. And then you can go to your tracking, you find erratic trackers here, and then delete the ones that are erratic, and then clean up trackers, and it will go through and clean up the tracks a little better. And if you get, this one's got a little bit of a red, if you look down in the right hand corner there, it's got a bit of red in the histogram here. What you need is that to be all green, hopefully all green. Anything under 1 is good. This one was a little bit tricky, so it actually worked okay at 1.7. So I left it at 1.7 here, and yeah, I put some models, some planes in here, so you can go into 3D, and you can choose here, click that, for example, a box here, and you can make, excuse me, you can make 3D objects within the scene. So yeah, and it worked okay. The tracking was quite good. You also, after you've done a couple of the delete and solve and everything, go into the solver, select refine here, and slow but sure, and then just go there, and it will narrow it down even further, so the histogram makes it even better number. Okay, so then once that's done, you go to export, and I use Modo. You can do it to After Effects, you can do it to a whole heap of different software, but I use, you can even use Blender. I use Modo Perl script and export that, and then I can bring it into Modo. So once I've brought it into Modo, let me just helicopter and Gerald. So that object there, go back here, that object there was brought in from Syntheyes, and I also brought in the ground. And then I added, because I needed the shadows underneath Professor Eggtop. So it added a shadow. I added some extra geometry going up over the rock fence bit there. and then I just made that a right-clicked that and made it a shadow catcher here. So the shadows can be caught from Professor Eggtop. Okay, so once those are in, I have all the places of where I want to put Professor Eggtop here and animate him. So he comes, he's there and he says, "Look over there, there's Gerald on top of a building. Come this way." And then I move over here and there's Gerald, and I put in a helicopter there. So he's like doing like King Kong fighting the helicopter airplanes, and put him on there. And then after that animation there, I had him jump towards the screen. Whoa! And jump in the water. Okay, there's no water there at the moment. So I needed to make a water simulation of him jumping in the water and then splashing onto the screen. So what I did is I use a liquid simulation software called RealFlow. And RealFlow, RealFlow can import objects from Modo, and then I can use those models in RealFlow to get the positions and everything right for the simulation. So what I did is I made just a very basic Gerald silhouette and animated that. I'll just turn that off. So this is a basic model proxy of Gerald jumping from the building into the water. Now it's polygons, it's not tris. So I need to take it into RealFlow. I need to change it to tris. So you just go into polygon and then click on triple, and that will triple the mesh. And then I selected that, or you can even just go into here and go export as. Once you export as, go in here and make sure that when you're doing simulations, a good idea is to have a solid state drive in your computer, because a solid state drive is it reads and writes quickly, and that's what's really important with a liquid simulation. Go in here and save it as a alembic format here, alembic format, and save it there. So once that's saved out, we go into, let me just open RealFlow. And we call this test to save the project. Use an empty project here, create a new project, and we are now in RealFlow. So the first thing is to bring in the Gerald, and hopefully I exported that before. Let's have a look. So where are we? Professor Eggtop, King Kong. No, hang on. Let me go back to my work, IP projects, and where are we? Professor Eggtop. Open that, and open that. Here. Let me just, anyway, the models. You go into, I'm going to find it, sorry. There it is. We're going to go into the Brisbane River King Kong Alembic and Gerald Jump. And we go in here, and that brought in a whole heap of stuff that I probably don't need. That's probably the wrong file. Anyway, what I'll do, I've already actually done this. So let me bring in, open this one. Okay, here we go. This is the alembic file for Gerald. See, it's got the same shape there. And if we go along the timeline, back in Modo, he jumps back at around, let's see, 370, around that. So if we go into RealFlow, you got to make sure that your options, go into options there, make sure that the frames per second matches your Modo scene, which was 30. And then he should be able to jump in. There. So, and he's going to jump into the water like that. You get a nice splash in the water. So I used Hybrido. So you bring in a Hybrido domain, and then you bring in your particles and have an emitter for the particles. And then I also brought in the river. I made this river in Modo, and it's just an outline, so it holds the water of whereabouts the river is in the scene, and then filled that with particles from the emitter. And there's a few other kind of things that you need to work to make it work better. To make it, with the emitter, you make the domain, sorry, to the domain, density, and all this. I actually didn't change much of this. Obviously, I wanted to make this pretty quickly, so I didn't change too much of these settings. It's actually pretty much at the defaults. Use a kill volume in your scenes, because a lot of particles splash everywhere and then just keep on going into infinity. So you need a kill volume that encompasses your scene. So once some of the particles go out of the scene, they just die and not keep on going, and that helps with the computing power. Also put a gravity in there. So obviously gravity. And the other thing probably was the thing that I changed was the ISO surface. Now, the ISO surface for a object is the shell, or how to visualize the shape. You can see it there, it's in purple. That shows you where the object is solid. And you have to check that, because sometimes you'll see, if it's just a default, sometimes you'll see water passing through the object, and you know, why is it passing through? It's because of the ISO surface, and you need to change the cells. I think it's the cell size. So if I change that to like 1, you can see that the purple ISO surface, what's it called? The ISO surface is not very good. It's shrunk. But the lower you make this, the more calculations it takes. So you need to test what works best for you. And if I go, so for example, 0.5, the legs are coming sort of in, but there'll be water passing through there. So if I take it around to 0.2, it's a little bit better, but I think I had it at 0.1 there. So it sort of like encompasses where the mesh is there. And yeah, so once you have the ISO surface set up like that, he can jump into, where do you go? He can jump into the water, and he will be touching the water like that, and then splashing out. I've actually got quite a good splash here. just from normal defaults here in the water. You can see the kill volume taking effect here. The kill volume is this purple line here, and that you can see it dying there. So that helps with the computing power. Okay, so then we need to mesh. So if I go into mesh here, you got in the drop down, you got the Hybrido Mesh VDB. So I just click on that. That goes into here, and then I added a filter. Yep. So I added a smooth filter there on the mesh, and I actually have meshed it out already, so we can see the mesh there. So that's sort of what the mesh looks like once he's jumped in. And then once that's done, you want to make sure that when you're in the export central, that mesh objects here, that you tick the bin here. I also have the Alembic file also ticked for export, but make sure the bin is ticked because we'll take that into we'll take the bin files into Modo. Okay, so once we've done that, make sure all the paths are set up and build mesh, and then it will go through and build the mesh for each frame. I won't do that now because that can take up to, it depends on how fast your computer is. It can take a long time. Just checking out the chat here. Mala, hi Mala. Monster Craft, thanks for watching. Find it funny. Show that video to, yeah, and she didn't. Okay, and Miguel, he looks cool. Thank you. Hello, Logan Williams. Okay, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat and I'll see if I can answer them. Okay, so once that's done, we go back into Modo, and we'll bring back Gerald there. There is a plugin called EM Reader. Let me just bring this up. So if you go into the Modo Foundry forums and just type in EM Reader, you'll be able to download the EM Reader, which is a plugin that allows you to bring in RealFlow and objects. So here it says, if I select the EM Reader, the file format is a RealFlow bin format here. So go to the path, browse into path, make sure you select one of the exported meshes that you just did from RealFlow, and it will bring it in. It will bring it in as here, the index value, it will bring it in as 1. So what you need to do is you need to not open that. You need to go into the graph editor and select the EM Reader and make sure that the timeline from your RealFlow here, which is about 500, hopefully this is correct. This one here is at 500, frame 500, and value at 500. And then the first one, and you make a keyframe. So there you make a keyframe in the index value. And then the first one, 0 is 0. So that means that each frame has a full integer value. Put here, full integer value. Otherwise, you'll get intervals like 0.001 frame, all that kind of stuff. You can do that if you want to speed things up. That is possible. You can go into the graph area editor and adjust your curves to speed things, like ramp it up in Modo. But for this one, I wanted it just to be the right speed. So here we have Gerald on top of the mountain, top of the building, jumping off and into the mesh, into the water mesh there, like so. So to get that looking like water, select the EM Reader, press M on the keyboard, and make a water shader and give it some some bumps and materials here. Give it some transparency so it looks like water, and then also giving the material group its own alpha channel. So in post, you can I was able to change the color of the water to match the Brisbane River because it is a bit of a interesting color. I also got a final color there with a denoise on it. I also have ambient occlusion, which was good to render out underneath Professor Eggtop there. So this also gave me some nice shadows or ambient occlusion that I adjusted in post as well. So yeah, so once that's done with all these render exports, I rendered it on a online farm, garagefarm.net, and brought it into, let's have a look, After Effects. So here we have a sag top, and we have, let's see now, go through here. Let's go through them all. So that is the background plate. It's just the footage there. And then next one is, oh, it's at the end. Next one here, that's Professor Eggtop. And let's have a look. That's Professor Eggtop there with no shadows. You can see it there, no shadows. And then have some of the shadows underneath him there. And then I have the helicopter, which is separate. He's up here. Just a bit of a color correction in here. I didn't want him to be too bright. And then Gerald, let me get rid of the bottom one here. Gerald up top, like that. Gerald up there on top of the building, so he's got a bit of shadow on the building as well, because the mesh in Modo had a shadow catcher on it. And then it's just a lot of color corrections, making it a bit brighter here. And then at the end, when he jumps off with the water here, you can actually see some of the water here. So this here is a different color on the water. So let's see if I can find that. So no, no. Where's the water? Wasn't the water? No. Water. Oh, water only. It says it right there. So that's the water in there, which is a pre-comp. I had the water here, which is rendered from Modo. I put a bit of a mask on there around it like that, and comped it on top of like that. So water is there, and I faded it in so it's not here to begin with, but then when it fades in, you can start seeing, I probably could have matched it a little bit better, but it was going for a quickness. And then there's the water. So it's been masked around here. This has got another mask on it, I think. No. But yeah, it's probably in the, yeah, there we go. There's the mask in there. Around there, getting a bit of a nice wave out here. And then as it goes through, I did a bit of a post effect splash from a Video Copilot tutorial. Always go to Video Copilot. That's great. I wonder what happened to Andrew Kramer. He's not around that much anymore. But anyway, and then I sort of wiped it across with my finger, and then jump scare with Gerald at the end. So what we get is Eggtop going over, trying to hit the helicopter. Helicopter flies off. He smells me, the cameraman, jumps in, water, hitting there, jump scare. Okay, so that is basically how I made King Kong Gerald. Like that. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's been 30 minutes. So we've got another hi from G Chu. Hi G Chu. I will be finishing up on my freelance work in a couple of days, so I'll be posting a new Gerald short in the coming days, maybe early next week. But keep watching. Please have a look at all the other content on my YouTube channel. Let's just go here, go to my channel, bang. This is going live now. So some of the other live streams I've done here, some of the other shorts and animations I've done here as well, please do check those out. And the shorts in the short shelf here, as it's called, have a look at those. Other live streams and just some of the other work that I've been doing over the years, some of the animation work that I've been doing, and some tutorials. Have a look at those. Yeah, thank you for, let me go here. Okay, we've got a few more. I think it was 53,030 or something before this live stream. So we've got another 25 subscribers just in the past half hour. So thank you so much for that. And there we go, 63,000 on the live updates for the channel for shorts. Okay. I'll do another live stream probably next week or in the next couple of days or whenever. So please do check that out. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Okay, see you next time. Bye.